I should have gotten before I done that when I wasn't out of breath, fellas. Not too comfortable giving out my details to the council guys for a few reasons, one of which my name's held under copyright agreement. So without my written express consent.
So you're happy to give it to me, mate, if we step over there? You said you got some ID somewhere?
I do have some with me, but again, there's no consent to access my info. There's an administrative process to do that. I filed a copyright notice under what's called Uniform Commercial Code, which is done through the Washington DC, and it's what all international commerce is governed by, these Uniform Commercial Codes, which I filed my copyright notice of my name with. So to attain the written consent for that, there's an administrative process that you've got to follow to have access to that paperwork and my identification. I'm happy to give you the process, guys, to talk us through how we do that. Otherwise, we're both in breach of trust and equity law.
What's changed? You said you were going to give me your details before.
No, I said I had them.
No, you said you were going to give them to me.
No, I said I had them. I said I had them, mate, and I needed to discuss the administrative process of obtaining those with you, which I'm happy to do.
Well, not for us, you know, we're the most...
There's an administrative process to attain someone's information, especially when it's someone like myself who spent a lot of time and money on copyrighting my name and creating an irrevocable power of attorney deed over myself and my estate. Now, I'm assuming neither you guys or the council have a power of attorney deed over me or my estate or my name, which I hold the copyright to. I've got my copyright stuff with me. Happy to show it to you guys as well.
Just give us a minute, mate.
Hey?
Share this, guys. Share.
No, he's also fine to stand here. We're all fine to stand here.
I'll come stand with you.
So, do you want me to run you through the administrative process to access my details? Because that administrative process is recognised in international law, guys.
Nobody's asked you to be here. There is no leave. No one's asked you to be here. You work for us. You work for
no, they work for Queensland Police, mate.
You work for that. Yes, you do. We pay your wages.
Can I just...
Yeah.
So criminals are just having a fucking ball right now because you're policing.
Guys, can I just talk to these two, please? I'm happy to give the details, but to do so, I've got to run just through that administrative process and how you attain them. There's a procedure in place recognised in international law for that, or you're in breach of the copyright notices. I need you to fill out some paperwork for me, which I've got with me. All right, well, I'm sure you guys say this to a lot of people too. Ignorance is no excuse for breaking the law. I'm attempting to inform you guys of trust and equity law and international laws you'll be in breach of for attaining my information without going through the appropriate administrative process.
I'm Senior Constable Bruce McDonald from the Southport Police, okay?
Yep.
Okay, I'm now requiring you to state your full and correct name and your date of birth. Okay, if you fail to comply with that, you committed an offence. Do you understand that?
I comprehend what you're saying, mate. I don't absolutely agree with that, though, because...
You don't have to agree with that.
Right, so what law is in breach of then for me saying, I'm happy to comply and giving me details, but you need to go through the administrative process?
I'm not going through any administrative process. We don't have to. Okay? You're committing an offence.
Double
Okay?
your name, you haven't given it to us under Section 17, now we can step in.
Section 17 of what?
PPRA.
Of the Police Powers and Responsibilities Act,
Yes.
2006. All right, so just to clarify, before we go any further, some fellas, I've informed you of the administrative process required to attain my personal information. Ignorance is no excuse, mate. You guys must say this to people all the time. Right. Also, you guys don't have a power of attorney over me or my estate to compel me to do any of this.
Okay.
And there's no contract between me and you or me and the Queensland Police Service. So I'm just curious where these obligations you're telling me I'm under are coming from.
We've already told you where they come from.
They're coming from the Police Powers and
from.
Responsibilities Act, which pertains specifically to a person, correct? Right, so...
You would be a person.
With a beard like this, mate, clearly I'm a man.
Okay.
All right, we agree that
So
with a beard like... Hang on.
details or not?
With a beard like this, can we agree that I'm a man? I'm happy. I'll give you my details via my copyright notice, and you guys can get my deets off there. I'll grab it for you. It's in my bag.
Okay, cool.
All right?
Thank you. Awesome.
And you'll be in breach of copyright notice because I'm not consenting and I'm only doing this under duress. Well, I'll be putting in a claim.
Yeah, you can put in the claim.
All right, that's fine. Just to make you guys aware, there's a $1 million fee for breach of copyright notice. If you guys are both happy to accept the liability there, I'm happy to get you my copyright details. There'll be a claim being put through, but I'm going to need your full details as well, guys.
I'll get a
I need to know who I'm making the claim with because you're breaching the copyright notice, which is recognised in international trust and equity law. You guys don't have the authority to go above that. I'll grab you my paperwork so you can see.
Okay, where is it?
It's in my bag. I'll grab it for you. It's my copyright notice and my filing that I've done under Uniform Commercial Codes.
Very amicable. Remember the NFS in one night.
Okay, guys, so
Right, Melissa.
Stay tuned.
First of all, I'd also like to inform you too that the Queensland Police Powers and Responsibilities Act is state law. Yep, now as you guys are operating on behalf of Queensland Police, yep, you guys have an ABN and or an ACN. Now, just to inform you, that is Commonwealth Public Official Certification, which has been hit by a public notary who also happens to be a barrister for the High Court of Australia. Just to let you know, I've got a sworn oath under the Oaths Act of 1867 to report crimes to the judiciary as they do. Now, in accordance with High Court rulings and cases, largely the Queensland Rail case on the 8th of April 2015, because you guys have an ABN, you actually can't use, in accordance with High Court rulings, state law, because you're registered to the Commonwealth with your ABN. And the High Court made a ruling on that. So if you two are claiming authority above High Court rulings, fantastic. These guys are all filming. We'll have a record of that claim. And I can assure you that is a legitimate document, mate, or I wouldn't have got a barrister to sign it for me. You'll see my name as a copyright sign after it there, fellas. That's for a good reason, because it's held under copyright. Now, you wanted me other information?
Red pill or the blue pill?
Yeah, the red one's always better.
This is ridiculous for a bit of fire trial.
Right, so this is an affidavit that has been filed and currently unrebutted. Are you two aware of what happens with an unrebutted affidavit? An unrebutted affidavit stands in truth and becomes fact in law. This is yet to be rebutted.
It's good that you're taking his word for it.
Because the unrebutted affidavit actually identifies me as a living, breathing man of flesh and blood and not that of a person. Now, if you guys can't show me somewhere in the Police Powers and Responsibilities Act where it pertains specifically to a man or a living man of flesh and blood, I'm not a person. A person is a creature of statute. The statutes did not create me. Now, my affidavit should all been duly witnessed and signed off with the Postmaster General and a Commonwealth seal as well. You guys are familiar with how the Commonwealth seal works?
Sure, you're going to tell us.
Right, for it to be lawful, it must be done under Commonwealth seal, not the corporate seal with the kangaroo and the emu. Must have the appropriate seal with the lion and the unicorn for it to apply on Commonwealth land. Now, you guys aren't operating under a Commonwealth seal, are you? You're operating under a private seal, which the High Court have made rulings of precedence to say you can't do on Commonwealth land. Again, 8th of April, High Court of Australia, 2015, Queensland Rail. That was a massive, massive case. So this is my copyright notice. This is also being filed under Uniform Commercial Code agreements, which is recognised internationally as to why I filed it there. Now, in this copyright notice, it states that any variations of my name, as the all capitals, lowercase, the man, the house of, however it's written, is held under a copyright agreement. In here, if you guys want to have a read, is all the information outlining why and how there's a $1 million breach for breaching that copyright notice. Now, along with that copyright notice, which is a few pages, you're welcome to have a read, fellas. Also, there's a private security agreement in place as well, which is also being filed with my collateral. Now, all of my ID has been listed as collateral under that security agreement. There also happens to be a private agreement done in the same way, which is also filed in international trust law, along with the Uniform Commercial Code. I've also then gone and done what's referred to as a hold harmless indemnity agreement. Now, this holds me harmless against any claims made against the name, because the name's under copyright, which I control. This here is the UCC financial filing statements and the amendments made, which is what has been filed in Washington, because that's where these sort of records are all kept and filed, as they're recognised internationally under the Uniform Commercial Code laws. And this is all my information there, and printouts of the filings that I've done for all of that. Of course, my proof of receipt of paying for it when all this was done as well. So I've informed you guys of all of this and my unrebutted affidavit, which has all been filed properly with the relevant government departments, both here and internationally, outlining my position as a man and not a person. Now, until such time as this is rebutted, I can't accept a claim that I'm a person. Now, if you guys can prove I'm a person and you have some evidence or facts to back that claim, I'm all ears. Or would you like to go through my affidavit and rebut it point for point for us? Right, so what do we do from here now? I've informed you of my lawful standing and what I'm identifying as a living man. You've got my details on here. I'm happy to have you read through this and do that, but I've informed you now of the ramifications of what occurs when trying to do commerce with me, such as issuing a fine. It's a commercial transaction.
Yep.
You need to have the written consent to do so in accordance with all this paperwork. Now, just before we...
You're under no threat, officers. Take a breath.
Okay, so the police have been given all this information from the common law man, and the police have just stepped aside to have a chat. I think they're going to be thinking about what they're going to do next, their next step. So there's a lot of people here in support.
Wickets hitting middle stump.
The people, my brain tuned out after I understand what you're saying.
I've got some other paperwork here for you guys. That's got my name on it with the copyright. If you want to have a read, my details are on there. You can have that one. I've got spare copies, guys.
10 minutes later.
Have a copy, fellas. All right. Yeah, that's for you. I carry spares for just such occasions. All right. That there is a notice of prohibition in terms of engagement, which also includes my fee schedule for the act of engaging with my services. So just so you know, we're all filming and recording. You've formally been served and now on notice. My details are on there. And if you wish to continue engaging with my services, the fees will be applicable. And let me know if you wish to continue, guys.
So there you have it, guys. The Gold Coast Council